today I passed my Master Cosmetology written test. So I'm super excited. Yesterday I took the practical and I failed, so I was a little down about that. So I'm going to just talk about my experience and I'm going to give you a little advice. I failed because I was not confident. Going into the test, I was confident. When I got there, my confidence just went out the window. My mind was going crazy. I could not focus on what they were asking me. So I was literally freaking out. I just wanted to leave. Like, I didn't even want to know, did I pass or fail? I just wanted to run out of that testing room. I was just losing it because I just wanted the test to be over. Be mindful of your mind. Be mindful of the fact that it might just be all in your head. It really isn't that bad. The test itself is really not that bad. You just got to go in there, know what you're doing, and do your best. So I'm going to reschedule to take it because I know exactly what I did wrong. So I'm going to take the test again. But today, I took the written test. I wanted to take them a day apart. And so as soon as I was able to take my test, I scheduled. I graduated December 1st, scheduled for my test December 29th, December 28th. I'm not even going to tell you my score because it doesn't matter. What matters is if you pass. I went in there, did what I had to do, submitted it, and I didn't go back and check my answers. The reason why I didn't go back and check my answers is because this test is very tricky. It's going to ask you a lot of questions that are going to make you second guess what you know. So you got to know all of this stuff because they're going to trip you up and put chemical terms for chemical relaxers and chemical terms for chemical wave and chemical terms for coloring all as an answer. And if you don't know the difference between each three chemicals, you're not going to do well because that is how they try to trip you up. They ask you a question about a specific service and they put the chemicals of all the services. You can eliminate what the wrong answer is if you know your stuff. And if you know the information, then you got to know your stuff. That's the best way I could put it as far as like how well can you do on the test. You just have to know your stuff. When it comes to not knowing your stuff, do an educated guess. What seems like it would be the right answer? Usually your first instinct is the right one. I am not a good test taker at all. The fact that I took this test and I passed on the first try lets me know that I know my stuff because the only way I feel confident about taking the test is if I know the information and I can honestly say that I know cosmetology. But for some people, they might get tripped up and thinking like, okay, I don't know if they're trying to trick me or if it's really this. Usually it is exactly what you already know it is. Like I said before, your first guess is more than likely the right answer. So I don't second guess myself. My first answer is the answer I put. I don't want to go back and look at my questions because I don't want to go back and change something into the wrong answer when I originally had the right answer because I just made sure that I went with my gut. And last but not least, study. I actually studied for this test. And pro proofs, Miladies, even whatever cosmetology school you attended, the book. Read the book. Read material. Study for the test. ProProfs.com, a lot of the questions from their test was on the test. So if you guys want to check that out, ProProfs.com, they have a lot of good studying material that is on the test. Miladies is a great study material. I have an older version of their book. So if you want to look into Miladies, that's a good way to study. Or just read your cosmetology book that you were given at school because you got to know those chemical terms. You got as far as like disinfecting, sanitation, anything that is regarding to safety and sanitation. You have to know that stuff. You got to know the first level. You got to know the second level, the third level of all the sanitation procedures, the EPA, FDA, OSHA, all these things. Your safety data sheet, all that type of information. You got to know what each and every single thing is because they're pretty much testing you to see, do you know what to do if there's some kind of chemical thing going on, if there's a medical condition going on, if there's some type of infection, if there's some type of contamination. You have to know how to handle these situations. So that's what they're testing you on. just like with the practical, a lot of what they're testing you on is to see how you're protecting the client and how you're sanitizing. So I think that for me, I already know what I failed at with the practical as far as the sanitation, protecting the client, and things of that nature. So taking the practical again, I'm confident that I'll pass because I know what I did wrong. And like I said, I was so freaking nervous. I put it in my mind that I was going to fail, and I did. So that is something I really want to stress, that it is a mind thing. Sometimes it's just all in your head. I meditated, and I made sure to activate my root chakra, which is your base chakra, which keeps you grounded, keeps you leveled. Then I went and meditated my solar plexus chakra, which it helps with your intellect, and it helps with eliminating self-doubt and igniting your intuition and igniting your self-confidence. So I meditated 2 of my chakras that I thought that would actually help me do well on the test. Before I took the practical, I only meditated 1 chakra, and that was the crown chakra. And that was because I was hoping that I would get like a spiritual guide to help me get through it. But I don't think that I meditate on the right chakra for that type of test. What I really should have meditated on was the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra would have made me not doubt myself during the entire time and question myself to the point where I was doing things wrong unknowingly because I just wasn't sure of myself. And so you definitely don't want to be unsure of yourself going into that test. You want to feel confident in you knowing the material, and you want to feel confident in you knowing that you're going to pass, and you will pass. And another thing, this probably didn't really make a difference, but they're going to ask you to take a picture before you start both tests. On the practical test, I didn't smile. But on the written test, I smiled. I don't know why. And I passed the written test when I smiled. So smile, have fun, and just, be easy on yourself. Don't stress it out. I know it's hard for me to say don't stress because I was stressing. But the fact that I went in kind of feeling like, we're just going to do what it do, and I passed, lets me know that stressing is never good. I wasn't stressed when I went to the written test. I actually was confident, and I kind of felt like, I got this. Advice: do not stress yourself out. So I hope my video was helpful to somebody out there. And if anybody is interested in being a cosmetologist, being licensed, just letting you know, it is not easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? You got to do a lot of work. And some people feel like, it's not even worth it. But to me, being licensed to carry was everything. But with that license, it becomes a profession. So that's all I have to say. And I'm so happy that I passed. You guys subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments.